Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And yes, we had a couple of technical issues earlier on today, South African time, with our coverage at Rustenburg, but you did get to see the venue and what was going on, and it looked really lovely. Now, let's get back to what's happening now. I've attached a video where this young African fellow is talking about the situation in South Africa. And he's talking about the schools and how they get burnt down, don't they? The genius of burning down your own schools, destroying the education for your own kids. Yep, that's what the message is, and that's what's happening in South Africa today. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, ring the bell for updates, and have a great evening.
You know, it takes genius for the guys of Limpopo, for someone to do anything like the guys of Limpopo are doing. Let us take an underdeveloped environment and let's turn it to crap. Now, not only have unemployment rampant because some of the people don't leave these villages. I'm talking about this specific place because this is where I come from. An undeveloped part of South Africa. It's a village. The schools are wrecked. Some of them beat up. Some of them just old, never been touched. But let's take those places and burn them. So being underdeveloped is not enough. Let's ban the school. Now we need an uneducated. So when you're done burning, we need another group of people to join in this mass chaos. And that's the uneducated. Let's build an entire generation of uneducated kids who just don't know nothing. They don't need classes, okay? Just forget classes. When it rains, whatnot, just like it is right now, just forget that. They mustn't go to school at all. So it has been a very massive problem in South Africa where when people have frustrations about something else that has nothing to do with what they are striking about, they end up destroying something that is of value. So you destroy a school which has much more heavier value than whatever you might be fighting. Okay, I think they're fighting for government service. Limpopo doesn't have tar road, so they want tar road, but let's destroy a school. What? No, maybe that wasn't clear. What? So we want to walk clean. Ne? Not all of us have cars, but you know, but let's take that and go and develop a community without education. According to human rights, the right to education is one of the first things. And guess what? The Limpopians have just taken the right of education to their children. And when we're done, we're going to make it a hashtag or so, or we just going to post the pictures of the tragedies and whatnot and stuff like that. I mean, like, you're talking about a village already underdeveloped. Then you're going to burn the only valuables you have, by which is the means to get your children outside of the wreck. Maybe it's just me. Maybe this is a thing that you also are thinking. We cannot take valuables for hashtag fees must fall or hashtag we cannot take valuables to stretch a point so that we can get to government. Like, okay, no, this is the only language they understand. I think they can speak English. There are many means by which you could achieve that. Maybe people don't go to work. People don't go to school. Like, why hashtag fees must fall isn't going anywhere? Or why is it is not gonna go anywhere? It's because there's just too many factors around the issue. When a generation runs out of anything to fight for, they will fight for anything. And even if there isn't a person fighting them, they will still fight either way. Our generation lacks direction on what are we fighting for. If we understood what we are fighting for, then we wouldn't have all of these things happening, because then we understand all the factors that go into it. If students don't have classes to go to, I saw a video about something that was happening, I think it was about in Kenya. They had one class and two classes were happening in the same class. The other classes on the other side, the other classes on the other side. And they said the biggest challenge in this school is that it's not that the information is not getting to them. The problem is to divide what information you are listening to. If a situation where something is so difficult that A teacher is speaking behind you, and I still have to listen to the other teacher on the other side. These are things to fight for. If there is that, that's something to fight for. We should be fighting to get better education facilities instead of burning them. Focus on the valuables instead of focusing on tar roads. You hate your government, go vote for an opposition. I mean, like, if you are there fighting the ANC, vote for another party. I think there's just too many misled ideas, and our communities are responsible for that because we don't understand the right state of communication. We think fighting gets the job done. We think people going for riots gets the job done, and then everything else that hangs in the balance is on whoever thinks right is. I mean, like, if we don't have the right decider for what right is, then whose right trumps whose? If you think this video is pointless, no problem. These are the places where I grew up. I can imagine if a generation back then in the 90s decided to burn schools and people like me would come up. I mean, like, what do you think we would be now? When we were going to school, schools were not burned. Let's leave the schools for others to have an opportunity to learn and come up with something. 20-something% on unemployment is bad enough. An uneducated society would be worse off. Uninformed, ill intentions, I mean, like, this is not the cause for a strike. Ill intentions, uninformed, I mean, like, if these are not the facts for why they strike, I don't know what is. Let's fight for the right stuff. Let's fight for what is worth fighting for, and that is quality education and the delivery of it. Let us not burn down the very facilities we will need tomorrow when kids need to go to school. And isn't it funny that they choose to do this exactly when kids have to be in school? Now, where are those kids, I would ask? Trust me, I'm not waiting.